Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TheeSportsScoop, the podcast. I think this is episode number 10. We're getting into double digits, and man, do we have a show for you today in the new studio, I guess you could say. Kian McDermott, Dylan Shalom, Serge Kadali, Charlie Nidell, all four of us are on it as the NFL season comes closer. We're in preseason, and that's what our show is going to be based around today. We have a ton of good topics about Sam Howell winning the starting job, Matt Corral winning the starting job. George Pickens is him, talking about injury impacts in preseason, Deshaun Watson, and then doing some would you rather, giving a player and then asking players, would you rather have them or the other name stated? And then we have some underrated versus overrated teams heading into 2022, and then a very offensive joke. It's not offensive, but you'll see that at the end. You'll see. It's a new part of our show that we're testing out.
Some stuff at the end.
Yeah, we're testing it out. But make sure you guys do stay tuned for the show. Thank you so much for watching. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, gentlemen. Man, oh man, has it been a long time since I don't remember the last time all four of us have been on a podcast. I think it's been the draft. It's been a long time, but we have a ton of topics. And first we're going to jump into is some quarterback battles, I guess you could say, or some quarterback competition that may be unexpected. UNC quarterback or former UNC quarterback Sam Howell, drafted by Washington, has looked great. Did a film analysis, go check that out, of his first preseason game against the Panthers. He looked really good. And what I was saying about him is I think he can challenge, and I think he can be a guy who – and Charlie was saying this about Sam Howell. Charlie was a guy who's very high on Sam Howell. He has sneaky athleticism, and I would say looking at that preseason game, it was more than sneaky. He was very – what are you looking at?
Who had Sam Howell as their QB1?
Oh, was it you?
It was me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Charlie.
No, either way, I was high on Sam Howell.
Yeah.
You were just not high on anybody else.
That's true.
No, that's true.
Kind of looking at Sam Howell and looking at Carson Wentz, who hasn't looked as great, and Sam Howell in many ways has been outplaying Carson Wentz. I've been saying this since Sam Howell got drafted. I think there's a competition there.
Yeah.
I think, from what I've heard from training camp, I think Carson Wentz has actually looked decent.
Yeah, it looked decent, but I think recently Howell's been great.
Preseason, Howell looked really good. And I think what I could see happening is, I think it's undisputed. I think if you trade for Carson Wentz with that money that you're paying him, he's going to be the starter week one.
Right, yeah,
but I
definitely
could easily see if he struggles midway through the season and the Commanders are not in a position where oh yeah, we're definitely going to the playoffs, or even the position where they're on the fringe spot and they know their quarterback isn't the guy. Why not try Howell? Maybe a similar situation to Tua, where Miami were already at the playoffs playoff position a couple of years ago, but they decided I think the rookie gives us a better chance to win. So I could see that definitely. And then they rotated him from in to back. In out, but the point is the how with Howell I could really see that maybe happening. But I think week one I'd be very surprised if
week one I would say, but I think it could be a week 6, week 7 takeover.
I think mid-season there's a very.
I think Howell fits the team very well.
Here's the thing.
He's got a great arm. We've got kind of guys like Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin.
Great. Jahan Dotson looks like the best player in Washington camp, at least from what I've seen.
Besides
McLaurin. But here's the thing with Howell, and what makes him different from the other rookies is he has to beat out, other than Corral, he has to beat out two guys. He has to beat out Heineke and he has to beat out Wentz. But he's been doing his job so far.
He's beating out Heineke.
But he still has to do it.
Yeah, I don't think there is beating out Heineke. I think if Washington goes to a backup, they go not to Heineke, they go to Howell.
But I really like Heineke on the depth chart. He played all year last year.
I think that if you're going to a backup because you're not performing well, you're going to Howell.
Well,
I think it depends. And here's the thing. I've been a massive fan of Heineke since that Buccaneers playoff game 2 years ago, and I think he's a guy who really deserves a chance. But I think Howell.
He had his chance last year, and we didn't see it.
And I think Howell definitely has so much more upside.
Oh,
and so much
I
more
love Sam
talent.
Howell, and it feels nice to get one right on the draft because of terrible I was last year.
You can't say you got that one right yet, but Howell's look good.
It feels nice to be on the right trajectory, but because last year I was way off. But I just don't think it's going to be as clear-cut as in Week 6 if they're not performing. They're going to put Sam Howell in.
Yeah.
I think
I see a bit later.
And I
don't think it's going to be this season. Because I think Carson Wentz, they gave him that job for a reason. They need a quarterback that is determined and ready to start a game and finish a game and be their quarterback for the rest of the season.
And
because they've had guys flip-flop. They've had Fitzpatrick, Heineke, Alex Smith. They need a guy who's stable, and that's not a rookie right now.
And I agree with you, and I think actually that's a very good point because I think Wentz gets worse like back end of the season. So it would be week 16, 17. Like, it would be a late.
Not that late.
They wouldn't bench him.
Exactly. It would be a kind of thing where it's like Sam Howell's not. There's no point in putting him in, right? So I think it's a good point. I mean, I really like Sam Howell, and I think when you look at you put them side by side, I think initially Wentz is much better, probably bigger arm. I would say accuracy-wise, I would almost give that to Howell. I mean, you're looking at some of the throws he made against the Panthers in tight windows, which he's been doing at UNC, and the rushing. Again,
the rushing upside.
No, the rushing upside. He got hit by 2 big defensive tackles, ducked out, got out. He looked like Lamar Jackson. It's kind of
but Carson Wentz also has a rushing upside.
Not as much anymore since the injuries.
Not as much as he used to, but
not nearly as much as Howell.
But I think that Carson Wentz, we have seen what he can do with the. I am not high on Carson Wentz. I do not like Carson Wentz. I haven't since he was drafted. But Carson Wentz, we saw what he did with the Eagles that one season, and the Eagles didn't exactly have a particularly strong offense. Okay, they did not have.
They had a 1. They had the best O-line in football that year. They had a wide receiver 1, and they had
Alshon Jeffrey. People are forgetting about him. Alshon Jeffrey was fantastic.
This was not a particularly strong offense. It was a solid offense.
Yeah. It was a Super Bowl winning offense.
And it was a fantastic defense.
Yep.
Probably best in the league.
It was Carson Wentz. We've seen what he can do. Now, obviously, this Washington team is not as good as that Eagles team was. But we've seen that Wentz right now is more of a game winner than Sam Howell.
I agree.
Yeah, but that's because Howell has not played a single
That's because Howell has not played. We haven't seen what he can do. But I'd say Wentz is more of a game winner than any of the rookies that have been drafted, potentially more than some of the second-year quarterbacks we've even seen this year. I think definitely more than Justin Fields. Definitely more than
I feel like the problem with Carson Wentz, I feel like he has to have some sort of ADHD or something because he just gets bored on the field and does stupid stuff. Like, because he can go the whole game and throw really, really well, and then he'll put the ball in his left hand and give it to the other team. I don't really understand what he does some of the time.
Yeah, I mean,
think he thinks he's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but like, there has to be something in his brain that's just off for that. I don't quite understand it.
Yeah. I don't know. Wentz, again, like Charlie said.
Because he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league if he doesn't make those stupid mistakes.
Well, that's every quarterback, I'd say.
On the Colts last year, at the start of the year, he looked like a top 15 quarterback.
Daniel Jones' accuracy was 100%. He'd be the best quarterback in the league.
But at the start of the year, Carson Wentz looked like a top 15 quarterback. At the end of the year, he folded into...
I don't know. At the beginning of the season, he was like... Beginning of the season, he was okay.
At the beginning of the season, he was very good.
I wouldn't say very good.
I wouldn't say very good.
I would say there were always questions. I think the entire year was always questions.
Did limit mistakes last year. He only threw 7 interceptions last year.
But all 4 of them were ridiculously stupid.
Okay, but he's allowed 4 mistakes if he's having, as you said it, a really, really good year.
But the difference is, at the end of the year, when they were just giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor, we didn't see that. So at the start of the year, we would have been able to give leeway, but he made the mistakes at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm checking the mic slot. Dylan, yours is a little low. It's a little echo. But apologies for that. But yeah, I mean, I think in terms of that battle, I think it's definitely open. I wouldn't say now, and I don't think no matter what, it won't be Howell week 1. As much as I think he could be the guy week 1, but again, like you said, you're not paying Wentz that money to back it, to play him as a backup. So, yeah, and I would say now more the question more than ever is Howell versus Heineke, and can he roll over into the guy who they do, go to if Wentz is playing poorly. And I definitely think Howell can be that guy. The question is kind of what will happen there. But I want to move on to, we're going to talk about another quarterback, a guy who I kind of added in here, and that's Malik Willis, who played well. He showed literally exactly what everybody was talking about with Malik Willis coming out of college. He rushed very well, had a rushing touchdown, broke a tackle. The throwing wasn't great. And despite playing well, Mike Vrabel was mad at him. He said, I want him to throw the ball. He didn't, and then they dropped back to their QB3, I guess, or Logan Woodside. So it's definitely for Titan fans, it looks a little bit iffy because now the question is, and Dylan, you talked about this in the beginning of preseason, was Malik Willis was playing with that third team and playing as a QB3, which is definitely a guy I think Malik Willis could contend for that QB1 role for the Titans this year. But he definitely showed that immaturity, I would say. Yes. Definitely showed that immaturity. Wasn't really going through it was a good game, but there was a lot of positive and negative, so it kind of was an average game. But Vrabel didn't seem very happy with Willis's performance. And kind of what do you guys think about that, especially going forward for the Titans?
I think it's not too much really to look into. I think he's just obviously he wants to see his quarterback a bit more develop his passing, and more importantly, just doesn't want to see him get injured. And this just like this game, like you said, it just reaffirmed everything what we thought about Malik Willis. He's got insane talent, great arm talent, great athleticism. But he's obviously very raw, and he's obviously gonna use his athleticism to bail him out of a lot of situations where he could kind of just be a bit more refined. But I think that will take a lot of time. Obviously, in my film review, I was kind of like, I can see a lot of situations where I think he could have stayed in the pocket and like stepped up a little bit more rather than just taking off. And I think that's what probably maybe what Vrabel saw. So, but I think overall, again, it's not a I don't think it's like something serious. I don't think it's gonna be like, oh yeah, we gotta trade Malik Willis now because he did this. It's not really. No.
Trade is.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously not, but I don't think there's any trouble there. It's just a case of him wanting his quarterback to develop and just obviously also not be injury prone. Because I'm sure they might have had a talk at the beginning of the game and say, okay, you got to run it a limited number of times, but like when you're in the game, you get a bit more like
it's
like it goes out of your head. You're
just
like
QB. I'm gonna get out of the pocket and take hits and not go down and show how fearless I am. And
we saw that with some other quarterbacks in preseason.
It's an I'm not scared. Which I think. I mean, he looked great. It's the thing that I relate so much to a good rushing quarterback was Howell did as well. As the pocket closes and they do that stab in and then go out. Howell did that. And Malik Willis did that, and that's exactly what Lamar does. It gets the defensive tackles in, and then you get out. And Kyler
does that exceptionally well. I'm confused by Malik Willis once again. I've been confused by Malik Willis throughout the whole process at first because I didn't think he was that good. But I don't know how he's going to fit into this team, and he's too talented not to fit into this team. I feel like they need to use him as some sort of decoy quarterback at some points in the season.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I don't think
like how Lamar was used in his rookie year.
Yeah, yes. I think I've been saying from the draft process, I said he needs a year to sit behind someone, but Tannehill's not the guy he needs to sit behind. Tannehill, I don't feel like he said it himself.
He's an above.
I'm not gonna mentor Malik Willis.
Right.
So like, I feel like it's not gonna do him justice to sit him on the bench the whole year, but I don't think he can start. So it's a confusing predicament for him.
Well, I think the biggest problem is even if he didn't look bad, Mike Vrabel's got a very precise system that he operates with, and that's Derrick Henry.
And if Malik Willis starts pulling it away,
that's what Mike Vrabel does. He gives the ball to Derrick Henry, and it works well. Yeah. It works extremely well. The Titans have been good for the last 3 years. They've been one of the top seeds in the NFL or in the AFC for multiple years in a row.
One seed last year, yeah.
And then the year before that, they were, I think, the 3.
Yeah, they've won the division 2 years in a row.
They've won the division twice in a row, and that's through Derrick Henry. And Malik Willis is going to come in, and it's weird because talent-wise, he's too good not to steal the show. But he's not good enough to steal the show for this team.
No, I completely
because
agree.
Derrick Henry is the way this offense works, and introducing Malik Willis into a system that's dominated by one player. And Malik Willis isn't going to want to just, give the ball to Derrick Henry every play because he's better than that.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it actually is an awkward fit with Malik
Willis.
I'm
going to say
have the best running back.
That's what I'm trying to say. If they play this right, it could be ridiculously incredible good.
Give you Derrick Henry. There goes Malik
Willis. I don't know that I agree because
I think
if you have Malik Willis and Derrick Henry, it's dangerous, but it also means we're going to pass the ball 4 times a game.
They
don't even have to be prepared.
They pass it like 15 to 20.
But now with Malik Willis,
throw it less.
They'll throw it less because Malik Willis will just run.
They'll still throw the ball.
Here's the thing. If you're a defense, you have to watch out for Derrick Henry running, Malik Willis running, and Malik Willis chucking the ball 60 yards.
Exactly.
That's another thing that I...
2 high safeties and then you load the box.
Well, 2 high safeties, that just makes it so easy for Derrick Henry.
I think Charlie has a good point. I think it'd definitely be less throwing. You don't have A.J. Brown anymore. You don't know. Treylon Burks, I think, will be good, but...
No, it will be less throwing when Malik Willis is on the ball, but you can't just stack the box because there is...
Exactly. Now we can just take the top.
Opportunity for Malik Willis to take the top off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not
but I would much rather Malik Willis try and take the top off me than let them just ground and pound.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I would much rather put the ball up into fate and just say I'll take my one-on-ones on the outside with this rookie quarterback throwing the ball 70 yards.
Well, the point is there's always a threat.
No, but he does.
Yeah, the point is there's always a threat.
We always get into the way too literal part of it, like the 70 yards. They're not like. I know what you're saying, but there's the threat of Malik Willis if he catches. Like Malik Willis, we know is immature, and we know he can throw it 70 yards.
Immature
he can throw it 70 yards
sense.
Insanely accurately. That throw he had against Campbell, the one on the sideline.
Yeah.
That was the best throw one of the best throws I've ever seen. But he can also have an open receiver and overthrow it and have an interception. So I think what the Titans are going to bet on at least this year, if Malik Willis is to play some games, is give it to Derrick Henry and let Malik Willis run. because you don't have A.J. Brown there. You have a Treylon Burks, who I think can be fantastic. But again, it's all about trust and it's all about building. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of throwing from him early in the season. And it's not even, he's not going to be starting, so it's not even a.
I just think it makes the offense slightly too one-dimensional. Now, I'm not saying it's obviously you have two dimensions in Derrick Henry running and Malik Willis running. But I don't know that I trust Malik Willis's arm enough this season.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. This year, not this year.
I'm saying to have him in the game on
like they do with Trey Lance last year. Exactly.
But when Malik Willis comes in,
they know
if I'm the defense, I'm like, okay, well, they're not giving the ball to Derrick Henry now because Tannehill does that better than anybody.
But you can't know that because they can do that.
Then why isn't Tannehill in the game?
It's a threat, though. It's a
threat.
But
he's a
Tannehill
decoy.
brings the threat. I would much rather have Tannehill bringing the threat of Derrick Henry plus play action than Malik Willis bringing Derrick Henry or Malik Willis running.
Or play action. That's the third option.
But I would much rather have Ryan Tannehill running the play action than Malik Willis.
Do we always get?
But the point is that Malik, there's three. It makes it a triple option.
It's a triple threat. Yeah,
it's a triple threat.
What is a triple option?
Malik running. Malik Willis throwing on a play action. That's Derrick Henry running. It's not necessarily that Derrick Henry won't get the ball.
The number one thing, and I'm not even defensive coordinator, is an offensive coordinator is keep the defense guessing. You don't want them to know.
But I think that the Titans have already done that brilliantly well.
Not as well.
They give it to Henry, and Henry's just
Derrick Henry is the best running back in the game.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tannehill is arguably the best play action passer in the game.
No,
not even close.
I think he's one of the best play action passers in the game.
Last year,
but that's only because Derrick Henry's so good.
I think every quarterback would be one of the best.
I hate the argument because Derrick Henry. Play action passing is completely due to the quarterback. The running
back
sells it well.
He sells it well, but the defense is always stacking the box.
I think most quarterbacks with Derrick Henry would be one of the best play action passers.
I think Aaron Rodgers.
And Ryan Tannehill has done it brilliantly, and we've seen him do it without Derrick Henry as well last season. Because even without Derrick Henry, they still managed to finish as the number one seed.
Yeah.
How much was that?
No,
down
I'm not
Ryan
arguing
Tannehill?
against Ryan Tannehill as a player.
But I think the argument.
I'm saying having Malik Willis being in the game, having that 3 threats, just sporadically. It doesn't have to be like a specific amount of time every game. Just like maybe once a week. Just try to keep the defense guessing. It's not a massive difference. It's just something that they can have to do.
I think that's fair, but then the problem is that all Malik Willis is going to become for the Titans?
I think for year one, I think that's fine.
That's what
Trey Lance was.
That's
what Justin Fields was at the start.
But Trey Lance and Justin Fields, Trey Lance, I trust right now Trey Lance's arm more than I trust Malik Willis.
Yeah, but it's his second year.
Even coming on his rookie year.
I see a lot of similarities between those two, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think Trey Lance.
I think Justin Fields is more iffy, but Trey Lance, I trusted his arm coming out of his rookie season than I did coming into his rookie season than I do.
But his arm is still huge.
It's like
I think Malik Willis is but the past 2 classes definitely the most raw quarterback, but I would say Trey Lance probably second.
Yeah.
So I think
we're getting off topic.
Yeah, but we'll move on to another quarterback battle, which I think is extremely interesting, and I think one that that this quarterback faces a lot of adversity, and that's Matt Corral. It's just crazy in Carolina. You have Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Matt Corral. And Matt Corral, something he said was, I'm kind of sad I went to Ole Miss. Not I'm sad, but I wish I went to a school that had more competition at the quarterback position, because now he didn't really ever have to deal with that at Ole Miss, and now he's going to have to in Carolina, and that is the most heavy, talented quarterback room. Even P.J. Walker, who Serge loves that. I always think the video you made, but there's 4 quarterbacks there who have. I mean, even Matt Rula said that there are guys who can win. And I think we know what I think about Sam Darnold. I definitely think I love Matt Corral. That's what I'm saying. I think he's looked great. Matt Corral, I think, can compete with these guys. And again, my question that I pose to you is, what do you think of this battle? Is there any way that he wins that?
I feel for him. I feel for him because this is a spot that he can win this season. I wouldn't be overly shocked if he wins this spot this season, because all 3 quarterbacks that he's battling against, P.J. Walker, I just don't think he's even in the conversation. So I'm just gonna say Baker and Darnold. Darnold, not good. Baker, we don't know how he recovers from his injury.
I would start Corral week 1 if I'm being honest.
I would start Baker right now, but
Baker
I feel for Corral because I feel like they're going to feel obliged to play the other 2 before they play him.
Yeah.
It's not like they feel obliged to play him as a rookie because he was taken in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
So
it's not your first.
I feel like if they felt obliged to take him though,
because
they won.
The value was.
Yeah.
I feel like if they felt obliged to take him, then they wouldn't have drafted him in the first place. I think you could wrestle the QB2 spot from Darnold by the time training camp ends.
I think Darnold might get cut.
or trade it.
No,
one or the other.
I'm not saying this is too much to look into.
I did a video on Darnold. Who wants him? There's no time left for
want him.
Darnold. Who wants him?
I want no.
Like nobody. Like literally name a team that would take that. Like honestly,
The
Darnold.
Seahawks is what I was thinking. I think Baker should have gone to the Seahawks.
I think the Niners would take him as a backup when they cut Jimmy G. That's what I would think.
Yeah, maybe. But a backup, again, I'm saying a guy who could start, like a guy who can compete for that role. That's what Sam Darnold thinks he is.
But maybe the Panthers would try and trade him to a team that needs a backup so they can make Corral the backup.
Right, exactly.
I could easily see that.
Now, so I don't know if any of you guys watched Panthers Commanders last night.
I did watch a little bit, yeah.
I didn't see Matt Corral play, and I don't know if this is something too much to look into, but last night
played
Matt Corral was 1 for 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is a preseason game, and I'm not saying this is too much to look at, but all 3 of the other quarterbacks played better than him. Now Darnold only threw 3 passes. One of them was a touchdown. Baker threw 7 passes, completed 4 of them, and P.J. Walker was 10 for 19 with 130 yards. Matt Corral threw.
P.J. Walker played the most. That's interesting.
Matt Corral had 1 complete pass on 9 throws and didn't scramble once. Scrambled
I would have
once
to watch.
for 6
I can't
yards.
judge off the stats. I would have to
Now,
watch the film.
again, I can't judge it off the stats. That's what I'm saying. It's not too much to look into. None of them might have been. None of them were his fault, but he's a raw player.
Yeah,
we know that. And I just don't think he's ready to come out in week 1 and be the starter.
I agree.
Baker Mayfield came into this team, and Baker Mayfield is the starter week 1, no matter how preseason goes, unless of injury.
Unless somehow he plays terribly and Darnold just.
I don't think it matters. I think Baker Mayfield's the week 1 starter because preseason's not.
They traded for him, so I can't.
But here's the reason I feel for him. It's because he was drafted into a system that just does not work for him. He was an RPO quarterback through and through.
He was also drafted with one of the worst coaches in the league.
Yeah, I don't think Matt Rule's a good coach, but he's an RPO quarterback through and through.
Yeah. You see the press conference Matt Rule had, and someone saying fire Matt Rule like during it. He acknowledged he was like to the guy saying fire Matt Rule, thanks for coming out.
Yeah, and not only that, he's a play action guy. So I think the Carolina game, which is a lot of short game, it doesn't really work for Corral. I don't think it really works for Darnold. I think it works for Baker. So I think it's kind of going to be Baker's job.
Here's where I disagree. I think it does work for Corral because while he played a very RPO-based game at Ole Miss, we could see the Panthers playbook develop into more of an RPO, and short passing is what he does in the RPO game.
Panthers have a very friendly scheme.
And the difference between him and the other guys that run RPO systems is he ran a lot of deep RPOs. It's something I hadn't seen before I watched his tape. He threw a lot of long passes off RPOs.
Now, so how are you saying?
Running back?
So how does this work into any system? Because you're saying this is just the Panthers. No, deep RPOs are not a thing in the NFL.
No, but I'm saying the Panthers don't run RPOs at all. So if
but they could because they have Christian McCaffrey.
That's what I'm saying. I think you guys are getting You guys are getting into arguments that
it's also. Remember, the first half of the season was the Joe Brady offense, and they tripped.
Yeah.
Then they got rid of him.
Now it's
the Panthers have a very scheme friendly. You have a fantastic running back who can run and catch, and you have a DJ Moore receiver.
But I don't think they
one of the most underrated receivers in football.
No, but their scheme works for Cam Newton when Cam Newton was there. I think
Cam Newton was awful
when they went 15-1.
Oh, that's.
I thought you
were talking about his second stint.
I'm talking long ago, and this is. Some of the front office had to be the same, or some of the coaching staff had to be the same.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Coaching staffs they have a very short shelf life.
But it works. But a Cam Newton type system,
which is what would a Cam Newton type system?
Cam Newton has a great arm.
Yeah.
Or had at least a great arm. Cam Newton was a very accurate passer. And was unbelievable on the ground, which we could see a lot from Matt Corral.
Corral isn't Cam Newton.
I'm not saying he's Cam Newton.
Well, that's the comparison you're drawing, though.
Yeah,
you're saying in terms of playbook, in terms of scheme, in terms of the way he can play, the way we have seen him play, Matt Corral has a very good arm.
I think he played
not in terms of arm strength, but accuracy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Matt Corral is good on the ground, not as good as Cam Newton was.
He's injury prone though.
No, but I want to hear.
But
I would say he's better enough. I would say
the Panthers had a much better offense then than they do now.
And I would say they're also better in like.
But where does the scheme comparison come from though? Because I think that you could say that they're similar in those ways, but Newton's a lot more than Corral probably ever will be.
Yeah, the comparison there is Cam Newton's 6'6".
But style of play. But I'm not saying that this is like Serge comparing Zach Wilson to Josh Allen. Okay, I'm not saying that Zach Wilson is as good as Josh Allen, but in terms of the way they know how to play, and I'm not relating this to Wilson and Allen anymore, but in terms of the way they know how to play and the things that they can do with the ball, we know Matt Corral can both throw and run.
But not at the same level.
I never thought we would get.
I'm not saying at the same level.
No, but it's not enough to change the scheme.
And I'm only comparing these two because Cam Newton was a Panthers
Corral
player.
would be
like that's not. I'm not saying these are a perfect comparison.
No, I understand what you're trying to say, but I just don't think they changed the scheme for a third-round pick.
I'm not saying they need to change the scheme, but they can run it's similar. RPOs and short passing / running.
You guys
short
are
passing and running.
No scheme gets changed to a player that's drafted.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Built around.
Unless
I'm
you're
not
Trevor
saying they need to
Lawrence,
change the scheme.
Yeah, but the Jags don't have a scheme. The Jags were literally.
Now they do. Now they do.
Doug
Peterson.
Barely.
And I'm not saying they need to change the scheme. I'm saying Matt Corral needs to shift a little bit into the short passing role, and I don't think that's going to be hard for him.
I think he'd be good. I think he would be good in
RPO
a
scheme and a short passing scheme are very similar.
I think he would be good in like a Doug Peterson or a Frank Reich kind of offense, but I just don't.
Matt Corral and the Colts, I think, would be great.
That would be good. I would like that. I think the Colts need to draft someone who'd be.
Yeah, Matt Corral and the Colts, I think, would have been great.
Yeah.
Well, they're stuck with Matt Ryan. That's not a bad.
And I think Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
But how much longer does he have?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, we're getting off
this
topic.
This is gonna be a tangent. I literally just say yes or no. Do you think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer? Sir, you go first. Just say yes or no. I don't want to.
Don't put me on the spot like this.
No. What do you think?
No.
Just say it. Just say it.
He's a great quarterback, not a Hall of Famer.
He wins the Super Bowl as a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, he is.
He isn't.
I'm gonna say no either.
I hate to do this because he's one of the best.
I think he's
quarterbacks of
fringe.
the generation.
I think yes.
Yeah, I think
because Matt Ryan has been at the top of his game for 15 years.
Yeah.
I hate to do it, but
all right. Well, let's not. I shouldn't have said that. We can never do that.
We just go off Hall of Fame.
All right. Next, I want to talk about something that's very interesting and something that seemed too good to be true and just seems to be planning out, and that's George Pickens, who has looked.
Oh my God.
Looked like one of the best players.
Training camp, preseason. He's him. He's just.
No, and I hate saying to him. I used to say it. I feel like it's like kind of like he is. So he's
just like
he's the definition.
He's the definition. Fantastic. He looks like the wide receiver one.
He's up to the point where the NFL.
I think he will be at the end of this year.
Pickens, like
he will be.
The Steelers are great at drafting receivers.
It's him. Yeah. No, Pickens.
Name a receiver they've missed on recently.
Juju.
No.
What? Come on.
He was successful for them.
For a mid-round pick.
For like
a mid-round.
Nah.
He was always solid. Juju is not a miss for a mid-round pick.
It was a 4th round pick.
If you said like,
okay, but he's also not
Eagles
a hit for a 4th round pick to be good for like 12 games.
We're not saying it's a hit, but it's not a miss. There's no way it's a miss.
I'm sorry. Are you saying he was a miss for a 4th round pick who became a top 10 receiver in the league in his first year?
For like 3 games.
In his first season.
He played.
Charlie,
he had
come on.
what?
He's
one
not.
good season?
Just don't say, Charlie. You're battling an impossible
I'm not saying
argument.
this was a horrible pick because you're right.
It
It's a
wasn't.
4th round pick.
It wasn't a miss.
But he's
There's
not even
no
on the
way.
team anymore.
Well, yeah, because
he got a second contract. That's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
A lot of 4th round picks don't even get second contracts. By this time, they're out of the league.
Juju Smith-Schuster made.
That's not true.
Yes.
Or on practice squads.
Dumb arguments. Don't talk about the 4th round pick. Juju Smith-Schuster, by definition, was not a miss.
There's no way you can say that.
Okay, but he also wasn't a great pick.
Yes, he was.
He was a solid pick.
That's all arbitrary. Like that's
Juju Smith-Schuster was the focal point of the Steelers' offense.
Yeah, for a good 2 years.
And remember, he was also dealing with quarterbacks like Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges. Like
that year that AB was out,
he was. Don't disrespect the Duck.
What?
That year he was out was fantastic. The year that AB was out, Juju was amazing.
No, the year AB was there.
Oh no, he was in. Sorry, it was.
Yeah.
Right, we're going off on a tangent.
But anyway, no, let's go back to Pickens. I think at the end of the year he's going to be receiver 1, and that receiving core of
Pickens,
Pickens, Deontay, and Claypool. That's
it's so funny.
And Freiermuth, the tight end, and Najee out of the backfield.
No, and who I think is going to be insanely underrated. I'm forgetting his name.
Calvin Austin.
Also, can I just say Juju was a 2nd round pick?
Yeah, I was going to say he's not a 4th round pick. I don't know.
And they missed on James Washington, 2nd round pick.
All right.
James Washington, I wouldn't
give up. I wouldn't give up on it, but I'd say
well,
that's
he's not even on the team anymore. But
Sammy Coates.
Oh, that was too long.
I don't know.
3rd round pick.
Right,
it was 2015.
I remember him, but that's long enough ago.
But yeah, I mean, this isn't really a segment, just appreciation. I mean, he's been. What do you think?
Oh wait, okay. Question.
I think he's an O'Roy.
Question: do you think he's going to be a receiver 1 out of all this entire class?
I'm gonna say no, just because I believe in everything Drake London has. But I'm
gonna say yeah.
That might
I'm gonna
be
say
taken
yeah.
away because
do you mean just for this season?
No.
Okay, then absolutely not.
Absolutely
really?
not.
No,
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
And it's not because I don't think George Pickens is good,
Trubisky.
but look at the other team. Look at the other receivers who were drafted this year.
It's been
London, Wilson, Olave, Dotson.
I'm gonna go through all these now.
Okay, if you want
Jameson Williams, he will be better than George Pickens.
J-Mo will be better.
Okay.
Chris Olave,
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
really wish I could say he will.
I don't think he
because
will.
I hate the team that picked him. I've gone through.
I don't know why.
I hate that the Saints picked him because they're going to limit him to being a burner. Because they have Landry, they have MT, and they have Callaway. Those are the guys they need in the short and intermediate game. They're going to limit Olave to being a burner. And
Garrett Wilson will be better than
I think
Pickens.
Garrett Wilson will be better than. Oh, he's on the Jets though.
I mean, the Jets
Fair
are
enough.
good.
George Pickens will be better.
What are you talking about, bro? Bro, you
Rondale
can't.
Robinson will be better. No.
You're on the Giants, bro. Come on.
We're getting off topic.
Those were the guys I wanted to list. That was it.
I would say
I strictly do not think he will be the best receiver that comes out of this class because J-Mo and Garrett Wilson are so good.
I'm a believer in. I'm a believer in Garrett
Dotson.
Wilson.
And
I'm a believer
And
in
London.
I'm a believer in Garrett Wilson, obviously. I'm a believer in J-Mo. But, like, George Pickens, bro, he is scary. And it's not like he's like the guy that's like, oh, yeah, he was going to come into the league. He's a polished guy. Like,
I'm going to say
he
this.
is.
We don't.
No, I think one of the few concerns is that the Steelers always just, like, make their receivers horrible people. And if you're like, but I don't think he's going to be AB.
I'm going to say this, and bear with me. This is a very family-friendly podcast, and I think it works perfectly. He just has like the fuck you energy. Like, I don't know, like he just has that.
No, I know.
Like, I'm just gonna be better than you. I'm just gonna push you over.
Just a picture of him getting drafted. That's the picture
yeah.
I always think of. But
NFL young boy.
He had?
NFL young boy.
Do you know the toe tap he had?
Yeah.
In preseason, it was someone edited a photo of him when he got drafted, but the TV was him with the toe tap.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I think year one he could
I
easily
know I shocked
be
you all
over.
with my French, but I apologize.
Français.
Yeah, but yeah, man.
Speak French.
Now we're gonna go into some more sad news, and especially for Surge. Well, actually not.
No, it's actually
sad,
it's not
but
sad anymore. It's
considering
not sad
Jets
anymore.
fans were on
On
the verge of
we were on the suicide hotline, basically.
You took it from me.
I think we were all thinking that.
There's no getting around it. Like there was some.
There was
deep
like
holes of
I
depression
was like that was probably one of the worst nights.
Yeah, there was some
just-
crying.
I slept through it because I was in Europe.
Yeah,
No one asked.
Yeah, I knew
I
what
do care.
happened.
But we know what it is. We're gonna talk about the two injuries, and they're both are not rookies, rookie, sophomore, and that's we'll go to the Drake London one you're talking about first. The knee injury he suffered.
I think he's okay. It's minor. It's
Yeah.
like they said it's minor.
But for his game, it's major because he's not a shifty guy. He's a go up and get the ball receiver.
And-
But
But he has
doesn't that
speed.
help
But
him?
No.
That helps him.
But he loses the step if the knee injury is bad, and that step is massive.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel
But
like
they
it would
just
be
said it
worse if he
wasn't.
was a shifty guy.
No, but if he's a shifty guy, it gets repaired.
No, they're just talking about pure speed. But I think if he isn't, but I think they said it's minor mainly. So I don't think it's a problem.
No, but
If it happens to him and even nowadays with like all the like modern medicine, I don't think even.
Do we know what the injury
that's
was?
a surge. That's a surge classic, by the way. Every
Given
time there's
modern
an injury,
medicine.
with the modern medicine,
Bro,
He says
but it's true.
He always
He should
says
recover
it's true.
fully because
my brother,
modern
my brother said
medicine.
we got
But
sunburned.
it's true.
And he was like, it's fine. They'll have the cure for cancer in like 20 years. And I just rolled with that the rest of the vacation. I was like, I'll just get sunburned.
I don't get sunburned.
I don't either.
Yes, sir.
All right, what is?
Not this one.
What are we talking about?
I guess so. The Drake London was not major. But let's talk about the Zach Wilson one, which I think,
Yeah.
and I'm going to argue with this. It's 2 to 6 weeks, Surge. It's not 2 to 4.
It's 2 to 4.
He
It's
tore
2
his
to
meniscus.
6.
It's
It's
2 to 6.
it's a very like small tear. It's like
Oh, okay.
it's a 2 to 4.
You want me to give you a small torn meniscus?
Okay.
That would be pretty major, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but with the modern medicine, I think he'll be okay.
The nurses, Devontae Parker,
Yeah.
they'll give it. No, but I do think Serge, I guess give us a run because you're a Jets fan. What do you think the impact on the Jets will be? Do you think it really will slow their season down that much?
My one concern is he's probably done for training camp, and that's really going to hurt. I think
Yeah.
it could hurt his chemistry with his receivers. But the good thing is he spent basically all offseason with Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Tyler Conklin, those guys. I think
How much did you pay him to do that?
Some of his mother's friends he spent probably a lot of time with.
There's no way
Yes.
they
what are you talking
there's
about?
no way-
What are you
all
talking
those
about?
receivers just decided I'm gonna hang out with Zach Wilson.
What do you mean?
That's
what
a
they
W.
do.
He's such a W
That
guy.
definitely is
What
what
are
they
you
do.
talking about? What are you talking?
I'm
just-
joking.
you're saying just people don't
Dylan
like
just
That's my joke.
So, but Zach Wilson, do you
bro, your
expect? 'Cause I
quarterback's
think
Tua.
Your
You have a
quarterback
chance-
Can't be
Is
trusted around
dumb.
mothers.
Yes, that's a W.
Is that a W?
It is a W.
That's a W. Everyone thinks it's a Dylan. You're fighting a losing cause here. But back to the football. Basically, with Zach Wilson, I think obviously the one concern is obviously maybe just like he might be a step slow, like in the first few weeks, kind of trying to regain chemistry with his guys. But I think overall he had a bit of training camp. He had preseason for like, I mean, I guess a couple drives.
Will
that
he be
pick,
a top
oh my
32
God,
quarterback in the
stop
NFL this
talking.
year?
But also
like
with that what?
Like Tua's wobbly throw.
Oh yeah, Tua's wobbly throws.
He didn't even play.
No,
Right,
in
all right,
practice.
we're getting
Look at
off
Serge.
topic.
Yeah, bro.
Tua's so box office that his throws get broadcasted to everyone for no
Chill,
reason.
man. We're
No,
not
I'm
talking
gonna-
about
I'm
Tua.
not gonna-
Okay, but Serge, here's the real question: do you think Zach Wilson will be a top 32 quarterback in the NFL this year?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Bro,
that's
your
a good question.
quarterback is Daniel Jones.
No,
I don't want you guys to
no.
talk.
Yours is hurt.
No. Don't talk about other.
Yo,
teams'
chill.
quarterbacks.
Why do you keep saying don't?
Don't talk about other teams' quarterbacks right now. In
You
comparison.
literally said no one wants to spend time with Zach Wilson. No. Okay, let's get back on track here. No, Dylan. Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm trying to avoid this
Serge,
argument.
stop talking.
I'm trying to avoid this
Charlie,
argument.
stop talking.
I want to hear your actual opinion.
All right.
Is he going to be a top 32 quarterback?
Is Tua going to be a top 40
I'm
That's
not
quarterback?
not
talking
the
about Tua.
point.
I'm talking about Zach Wilson. Will Zach Wilson be a top 32 quarterback?
What kind of question is that?
No,
we're
it's-
moving past
Charlie
There's
asked,
32
it's a
serious
quarterbacks.
question.
Dylan,
Go
like,
ahead.
Yes, is Tua going to be a top 32 quarterback?
Yes. There we go.
okay. Well,
All
Zach
right,
Wilson's-
that was
Why is
completely
Tua
useless
Why is Tua in the conversation though?
because you attacked my quarterback.
I didn't.
And your quarterback is a noodle arm, so it's so
it's
easy.
irrelevant. You don't need
Why
to
are we
attack
ta-
him back
Tua
when we're
is
just
so-
talking about Zach Wilson.
Tua is
Exactly.
so box office that it just has to happen.
No
We
one
accept
cares
it.
about
Johnny
noodle
Dimes
arms.
is coming different
But
this year.
anyways,
Damn. That was. If you're wearing headphones, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm not. You deserved it.
I feel bad.
No. But
Listen to our
anyways,
videos on full
all
blast.
right, let's
Families
get off
involved.
the new alarm topic. But with Zach Wilson, I think again 2 to 4 weeks. I think obviously that sucks, but I
We
think
saw what
I'm
happened
hoping Dylan.
We saw what
Dylan,
happened
let
to
him speak.
Manziel when he got injured. Now with the Mormon Manziel, it's like
Jesus,
it's not-
stop.
Jesus, that's just sinister.
That he's just like,
That's just
yeah, bro, you're
terrible
reaching.
thing to say.
He's reaching.
Jesus Christ.
Nah, bro. I'm sorry you have a noodle arm as a
All right,
quarterback.
we're not talking.
But anyways,
shut up.
let's get off this topic. We've each said
You're the
what we
one who
need.
brought it up again.
Oh my
It was
God!
over. You
Stop
brought it up again.
talking.
You literally said Mormon Manziel.
No, you brought in Tua when it was over.
All right, so let's move past injuries because
You can tell
at
that
least
we're a
Zach
teenage
Wilson's.
podcast.
Can we talk more about Drake London? How do we know how long he's going to be out for?
That's
Because I know it's
don't
a
think we need
minor
to talk
injury.
about it.
I
It's
think-
minor. He'll be
I
back.
know it's minor, but when is he back, and will he still have a productive season?
Yeah,
is
well,
the problem.
I don't think.
I think he'll be
Drake
fine.
will.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll
That's
be fine,
the-
definitely.
That's kind of where we're at. But I want to move on now to.
Yes, please.
Do we want to go? Would we rather want to talk about some Deshaun? What do we think?
Deshaun Watson is an interesting type.
Yeah, so this isn't about literally what all of you guys have been hearing about Deshaun Watson. This is about the impact he will have. So it's looking like literally about to record. It's looking like he will be suspended for that year. But I kind of want to pose two questions to you, kind of a double question. That's what I just said. But if Watson is suspended for 6 games, if Watson is suspended for 6 games, how does that affect the Browns as opposed to if he is suspended for that year, which now it looks like.
Well, if he's
and
suspended
like kind
for
of what do you think Jacoby Brissett's impact? Kind of
First
Jacoby
off, I want to
Brissett
just say that Deshaun Watson, I know it was preseason, but he looked like
awful.
Well, he hasn't
really
played in
Yeah.
2 years.
But
it
it
showed.
doesn't matter.
But it showed.
It showed, yeah.
It
yeah.
showed, and it should.
So,
hopefully he's finished forever.
agreed. But I don't think I watched Brissett last year. He was absolutely horrible. But I think if Deshaun Watson gets suspended the whole year, they bring in Garoppolo. So
I can see that happening.
I think the Browns might be better off this year
Keep
if
speaking,
Deshaun
I'm
is
just gonna
suspended the
grab my
whole
charger. It's
year.
right next to me.
Because I just think Jacoby Brissett is not good enough.
yeah,
And they will lose
Brissett
the
will win them
first
6
6
or 7
games. If Deshaun is suspended for the first 6 games, they will go 0-6.
you think
I would have to check their schedule, but
they have the Jets in that schedule?
Exactly.
so they
We're
will
gonna
lose
beat
their
them.
first 5 games.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. They have Panthers, that could be a loss. They have Jets, that's a win.
Yeah.
Steelers could be a loss. Falcons.
I don't know how
Falcons
the
will be
Giants
a
and the
win. Falcons
Dolphins
will be a
fans talking. Like
Chargers-
No. If it was like
Chargers
if
is a
they're like
loss.
Chiefs and Bills, like I
Patriots is a
get
No,
it.
you're
But
acting
like
like you guys have beaten us in the last 2 years, but
no, but you're acting like you've had a playoff win in 20 years.
you're acting like you've been alive for a playoff.
Bro, we're not talking about the Dolphins. Stop trying to
God,
force them
We're
into every
also not
conversation.
talking about the Jets. We're talking about the Browns.
Yeah, we're talking about the Browns.
And you guys said,
Surge, we make
I didn't
jokes.
start this.
You have to just let
I
them
didn't
go.
start
Charlie, you need to calm down. It's just a cop.
Bro, you're slipping.
The
Like you
point
are-
is, the point is,
What are we talking about?
the point
Point
is,
is, I think the
Jacoby
Browns are
Brissett
screwed.
To make
cannot
this
win them
interesting and Not
games.
like let's not
Personal
play into
attacks.
the people saying you guys are too young for this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do one more kid thing. I
No.
fall today. Okay, we're done.
Jacoby Brissett will not win the Browns games. That's it.
I think he can win a couple, but
Yeah,
He
but
beats the
that's
Jets. He
not-
beats the Falcons. He could beat the Panthers. I don't see anything else.
No,
Yeah.
they don't beat the Jets. I promise you they don't.
You're
Okay,
gonna have
bud.
Joe Flacco, so
Oh
you're
my
acting
God.
like it's the same.
No, I think Zach Wilson will be.
thing.
He'll
We're
be
done
ready.
with Zach Wilson. Go ahead.
All right.
So B-Tech Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
He's better, Joe Flacco.
BYU Joe Flacco.
Oh yeah, we're not. I'm gonna slap one of you.
Bro,
Shit.
they're
but I
the
think-
ones who are saying they're
Sir,
attacking.
You're worse than both of us right
Oh
now.
my
I
God.
don't know. We're not.
I
no,
just
sir,
think
No way. They're saying
I've thought
it first.
this all year. I don't think that Deshaun Watson going to the Browns is actually going to make the Browns a contender.
I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
I
I agree.
agree.
It does not
I
make them a
agree.
contender.
I
He has
think
not
it
played in 2
definitely does.
years, and Deshaun
yeah.
was really good, but I don't think he has the receiving core to do it. I know he has Amari Cooper there,
but I don't think Amari.
but I don't think Amari Cooper's that good.
I do, but
I do think he's. No, I definitely do think it made him a contender. But that preseason game was
I don't think it did. at all.
atrocious.
like
that
no,
was like,
usually I
whoa.
can brush preseason to the side.
Yeah,
And
I
there
think,
might be some bias
I
due to the
already
sexual assault allegations, but like he was really bad.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was.
Yeah.
really bad.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, they still won. That's what
Yeah,
matters.
But again, I think.
Go to the massage
yeah.
therapist convention.
Okay.
What? It's in
All
Cleveland. The National Massage Therapist Convention this year is in Cleveland.
No, it's not.
Look it up.
That's vile. Watch out. Be safe.
It is. It's August 25th
Coming up.
in
We're
Cleveland.
getting a lot of clips in this.
Yeah.
Is
Still, you gotta
Deshaun
get a
going?
lot.
Hey, you're gonna get Dolphins Jets heated argument.
Yeah. Well, it's not. We're not clipping that. It's just. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's in terms of
Stop with
Jacoby
noodle.
Brissett. I think he can win you those games like against the. Okay.
He's just doing.
I think he can win you games against the weaker teams like the Jets
yeah.
and the Fab jokes.
Yeah, no. I mean, to be honest, they are a weaker team. I will take it. I will
But
take it.
I think. But again, I mean, now looking at it with how Deshaun Watson played, like, are they any better? Like, it's really,
He's better than
he's
Brissett.
better, obviously, but I think it's definitely
Not better than Baker.
yeah. But now we're gonna get into a very interesting thing, which may cause some more arguments, and that is the would you rather.
I'm excited.
Are
We
you
have a-
asking all three of us when you
Yeah,
go?
I'm asking,
Okay.
and we'll go online, and then we'll switch it off. But we have a couple players who we think are kind of on the hot seat, or not on the hot seat, just a hot take in terms of where people rank them, and we'll be going down the list about asking about other players and asking who you would rather. Before you go quickly, yeah, sure.
A minimum.
Yeah, don't reason. Just say who you want quickly, and then we can do it at the end.
Give
But
your reasonings
Yeah.
to the minimum, because I don't want to just.
Yeah.
If someone says like.
Only
Yeah.
reasoning.
Yeah.
I'm saying
want it to
I'm
be
saying
long.
only reasoning if we don't all agree.
Yeah.
no, but do it at the end. Like, wait till I go through all the players
Yeah.
and then do it, because I don't want to have to edit all that on the clip. But would you rather Kyler Murray edition?
Ooh.
We'll go
He's
down the
interesting
line that
one,
way. Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, we're not doing the
that's-
waiting game. Let's
Hey,
go.
come on.
all right, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. Okay.
All right.
Would
He's
you
going
rather
with the-
Kyler Murray or Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
Kyler Murray.
Derek Carr.
Ooh, okay. Would you rather Kyler Murray, and keep in mind, like, this might sound like an easy one, Kyler Murray or Trevor Lawrence?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
I would take Trevor Lawrence.
It's close.
just-
Though. It's
just so you
closer.
know.
I have to
Well, we
say.
can talk about that one.
Would you rather Kyler Murray or Justin Herbert?
Justin
That's an
Herbert.
easy one.
Herbert.
Okay, I don't
Herbert.
even need to ask that one.
Yeah.
Would you rather
Burrow.
Kyler Murray or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
You went before Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that
It
easy.
was.
Yeah.
No.
Would you rather Kyler Murray or Zach Wilson?
Kyler Murray.
Just say
I don't want to say it. I want to say it. I don't want to
Just
say
say
it. I don't want to say it.
I actually wouldn't hate you if you said Zach Wilson, just so you know that. Yeah. Just
But
say
he
it.
knows
You
it's
have to
not
think-
true. That's
you
the
have to
thing.
think- You have to think about it for the future as well. So just say
Oh,
it.
for the
Let's go.
future?
Still Kyler
Just-
Murray.
just-
Kyler
Still
Murray's
Kyler.
not 30.
Still
Just, yeah.
Kyler. Yeah, still Kyler.
Who would you rather
Yeah, you
Kyler
would-
Murray or
I was
Russell
Kyler Murray, too.
Wilson?
I'm not stupid. I wouldn't wait.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Give me the uninformed midget. Give me Kyler.
Okay.
Uneducated.
Russell Wilson.
Completely out of pocket.
Give me Kyler. I was waiting to say that though, so I had.
Oh, I said Russell Wilson.
Okay. Would you rather Kyler Murray or Ryan Tannehill?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Again,
Why are you
it's
going
so,
for
it's
that?
so
Sure,
easy.
you have to just
It's
get
so
it.
easy.
So the first one I'm gonna add, and I know you're the host here, but I'm gonna ask, why do you guys think Kyler over Dak?
I don't.
I only said it. I don't.
would take-
It's so tough. It's so
I
close.
don't like either of them, to be honest.
I don't.
I
I,
really
think.
like
I think
Dak
I
Dak's.
think Dak is a regular season top
Dak-
7 quarterback in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Dak is okay.
Kyler
He hasn't
Murray
really
is a
played much in the playoffs.
First 6 weeks of the season,
Yeah.
top 1 quarterback, and the rest of the season is borderline top.
Yeah, I would probably take Dak here. I'd probably take Dak.
I take Kyler just because I think he still has like that huge upside with his arm talent, and I think Cliff Kingsbury is not a good coach.
With Dak and McCarthy though.
Yeah, but he also has Kellen Moore, who I think is at least he's better than Cliff.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think Dak is just more stable, and
he's more stable. But I think Kyler isn't a bad quarterback. It's not like he's like erratic.
He's in like the most boring offense possible, though. Kyler at least gets to run his little triple options and stuff.
I think
they both have very high running
I just trust Dak to go out and win a game more than Kyler.
Yeah,
I think it's I would say that, but I just think overall.
Second one, and this is reversing the flip. Why is Kyler worse than Derek Carr to you guys?
Derek Carr is the most consistent quarterback.
Wait, you said Kyler.
I said Kyler.
I just think.
You think Kyler's better than Derek Carr?
I think Kyler's better than Derek Carr.
No.
Derek Carr, it's just one word for me. It's consistency.
Yeah, Derek Carr.
Consistent.
No, I can respect it. I don't see him with any elite traits.
But all right. But I think that's not that big a deal.
No, I agree that it's not that big a deal. But I think Kyler's good enough where that's the difference.
I think also the fact that Derek Carr led the Raiders to the playoffs with a really poor offensive line. It was not a good offensive line.
Kyler led the Cardinals with a worse offensive line.
Yeah, but that was also
you guys always get into the minuscule things. They both had pretty bad offensive lines, but
yeah,
I would take Derek Carr 100% because of that consistency. I think that's definitely where I'm at in terms of just get the thing up. That's kind of where I'm at with that. But
Serge, look.
Let's move on. Yes, sir. You just want to have the list up
just look at your text
for when you ask for the next one. But Charlie, we'll move on to the next one. Charlie, what do we have?
No, Serge is gonna do it. I texted it to him, so
okay,
he's got it. We're fine.
But yeah, I mean, I think I definitely I would have you do it because it's each. Sure,
okay, I can do it.
We'll just flip it.
Yeah.
Go on to the drive and I'll
yeah.
Okay, so the next one we're gonna talk about, and this one's an interesting one.
It's the June 28th one.
This is a tough one for me. A lot of these, but
do the would you rather to the guy.
Would you rather Najee Harris edition?
Okay.
Najee Harris is a stud, but so are the rest of these running backs. So it's really tough. So would you rather? Keen, we'll start with you. Najee Harris or Ezekiel Elliott?
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris.
I'm completely with you. Najee Harris or Christian McCaffrey?
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris
is really
or
important.
Alvin Kamara?
Kamara.
Najee Harris.
Najee. Close. It's close. It's
Najee
close.
Harris or Dalvin Cook?
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
Najee Harris or Joe Mixon?
Mixon.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris.
Ooh.
Now, Harris or Chubb?
Chubb.
And I don't even think we need to do Derrick Henry, but
Or JT.
Yeah.
or Jonathan Taylor. So first,
the Zeke one's interesting.
I would put.
I don't think
Eckler.
Zeke is interesting at
I
all.
just think
I
he
would
was
put
the
Eckler
best
first.
running back in the league for a few seasons, but I think that was also because Dallas had such an insane offensive
Yeah.
line. I think he
So
fell off a little bit. And I just
so
don't-
Keen, Alvin Kamara over Najee.
Yeah.
Why?
I definitely think that's a hot take because I think he offers a lot more. I've only seen 1 year of Najee. I think he might have a little less production this year. And I mean, Kamara is the shiftiest running back. He's so hard to tackle when he's healthy and when he can receive the ball. You know, Alvin Kamara is one of the best running backs in the league. So I would take him health-wise, when he's available. And I wouldn't say he's kind of an injury-prone guy, but I would definitely say not super injury-prone.
No disrespect to Alvin Kamara, because we could see what he does off the football field, but Najee Harris packs a better punch.
Yeah. That's not even. You're dragging it. That's not even bad.
No, I just mean Alvin Kamara is not a running back in the same way as Najee Harris is. I just think that Najee Harris, when you give him the ball, you can expect him to genuinely just run somebody over. Alvin Kamara, he does it sometimes, but not like Alvin Kamara is much better when he's allowed to run and then get the ball.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that he's as good as Najee right now. But now this one's for all three of you. I take Najee Harris over Joe Mixon.
I agree.
I take Mixon.
I took Najee.
I took Najee.
You took Najee?
I take Mixon. That's a tough
Why?
one,
Why
though.
Joe Mixon?
Joe Mixon is
love Joe
massive.
I love Joe Mixon.
I
but
did.
think
Najee's bigger,
Najee's bigger. Najee had the worst run blocking offensive line last year in the league.
and
I
he
think.
still turned.
And
it
he still
around.
turned up. And
Yeah.
his receiving was underutilized because Big Ben was too arrogant to throw it to him.
No, Dylan, you had a very good description of what you thought Ben Roethlisberger was, a potato.
Potato, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think Najee Harris is gonna be great though, but that's an interesting one. Dylan, you're up next.
All right. DK Metcalf.
Okay, you got to do that.
You butchered
Is
it.
he okay? Would you take this player
Nope,
over DK?
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
Someone else.
Say, would you rather?
All right, there you go.
Would you rather have Okay, someone else do it.
Would you rather DK Metcalf edition?
Okay. Would you rather DK Metcalf edition? I am not good at this.
Did you say half?
I said calf.
Okay.
Something you don't have. DK Metcalf or AJ Brown?
AJ Brown.
AJ
I go
Brown.
first.
Oh, you go first.
Come on.
AJ Brown. Yeah. DK Metcalf or Terry McLaurin?
Terry McLaurin.
Oh my God, this is a massive argument. We had.
2 years ago.
Terry.
Well, you were Terry. I thought you were DK.
I was DK 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Me and Keaton were
2
Terry.
years
No, it
ago.
was last year.
It was
2 years ago.
it was like a
Yeah.
year and a
Yeah.
half. It was
Terry.
before last season.
Terry.
This is not even a question, but DK Metcalf or Stephon Diggs?
Stefan.
DK.
Okay, shut up.
Stephon.
I'm joking.
Stephon
Diggs.
DK Metcalf or DeAndre Hopkins?
This counts for when on the field.
When on
Like,
the field.
yeah. Oh, he's taking his time.
All
He's
right,
looking for stats. You go first.
No, I'm not looking for stats. DK Metcalf.
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf or CeeDee Lamb?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Wow.
That's a tough one.
CeeDee Lamb.
I know Dylan's going.
You know who I'm going.
DK.
DK.
CD.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not saying any of them, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm giving my answer.
I think CD could explode this
Yeah.
season.
Oh, no, don't say it in front of Dylan. He's like CD Lamb, certified hater. He's got the license. He's just like.
Now, I'll be honest, I don't know why this one's on here. You want to just ask it?
DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Or Cortland Sutton.
DK Metcalf.
I think it'll be close this year.
Cortland
Oh,
Sutton.
that's close.
Cortland Sutton's good. But
He's a good
DK
receiver.
Metcalf.
I'd take DK though. Yeah.
DK Metcalf or Jerry Judy?
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, DK Metcalf. You have to go DK
Yeah.
Metcalf.
Yeah. I got DK.
I'm
there.
annoyed with the Jerry Judy hype at this
Yeah.
point. DK Metcalf or Hunter Renfro?
That's close. No,
Now
people.
we're talking.
Yeah,
Now
we're
A lot.
talking. Now we're
Yeah,
talking.
that's
Now we're
tough. They're also
Now
very
try to
different
quantify.
players.
I just need to see how old he is.
Why? That's an,
They're very.
Hunter Renfro's 26. I'd take Hunter Renfro.
Drafted the same year, I think.
They're such.
remember.
They're
DK Metcalf.
different players. Depends on who you want,
Yeah.
but I would take.
I'm DK Metcalf there.
I'd take
I'm DK.
DK so close
I'm
though,
DK,
so close.
And
It's
last
crazy.
one, DK Metcalf or Jamison Williams?
JMO.
Ooh,
Jameson Williams.
Jamison Williams.
Dylan,
DK.
nobody asked you.
But I'm still going to get my answer.
That's a close one.
That's close.
All right, so first question, and really the only ones are D-Hop and CD. So let's talk D-Hop and CD.
And Hunter Renfrow. I
And
think.
Hunter Renfro. Okay.
Yeah.
Talking DeAndre Hopkins, I just think in the last couple, ever since leaving Houston, he just hasn't really shown me.
Ever
enough.
since the Hail Murray. That was
He just hasn't shown me a lot,
No,
and he just
He was good in his first season in Arizona, but ever since the Hail Murray, that was pretty much
he has clearly dropped off a lot. Now I'm
Yeah.
not saying he's gonna come out and have a terrible season. I just and I'm not super high on DK Metcalf for this season. I just don't think Hopkins has showed enough last season.
It's been way
That-
too little, yeah.
That
Hopkins gives me Julio vibes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
but also I'm concerned with DK Metcalf next season because Drew Lock is throwing to him.
It'll be Gino probably.
Gino. I
It's gonna be
think
Geno.
That's
Yeah.
disgusting. I'd rather
The-
have Drew Lock. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
the
That's
I
another
think
discussion.
I
I
agree
like
the
that.
sample size is a problem, but I think a lot of that is due to the injuries. And I think if he can fully recover, which again is a big
Yeah,
if, I would take Hopkins. I think all of us
yeah.
would.
Yeah.
But I'm
I
just
think
betting
you
on
take
that happening.
Hopkins over, you could argue take Hopkins over. any
Nuke was
receiver
the best
now.
receiver in the league in his prime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. Like
with
not even close.
Deshaun,
boom,
that was
easy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Easily. All right, Surge.
All right, now, would you rather J.C. Jackson edition? Would you rather J.C. Jackson or Jalen Ramsey?
Ramsey.
Ramsey. I swear to
Oh
God.
my God, no! Oh yeah, this argument.
I hate
Let
to
him
say
answer.
it, but Ramsey. I hate to say it.
Why
but
do you
Ramsey.
hate to say it? It's so clear.
I'm a Jalen Ramsey hater. I acknowledge
It's
it.
unbelievable. He would kill you. I hope he does one day.
I'm not scared of him. What's he gonna do?
You are.
What's he
All
gonna
right,
do?
Xavier Howard.
J.C. Jackson.
We know what's happening.
It's not. It's not.
J.C.
It's
Jackson.
not unreasonable.
No,
I'm
it's not.
going X.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
that-
on-
that's
No,
fair,
I
that's
debated
fair.
it,
That's
but
fair. That's
Jason.
And Surge, say the player.
J.C. Jackson or A.J. Terrell?
J.C. Jackson.
AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell.
J.C. Jackson or Denzel Ward?
J.C. Jackson.
J.C. Jackson.
JC Jackson.
J.C. Jackson or Tre'Davious White?
It's a tough one.
That's a really difficult one. I'm gonna say Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White.
J.C. Jackson or Marlon Humphrey?
Also really tough, and I'm gonna go J.C. though.
J.C.
JC
I don't
Jackson.
think that's tough. I think that's clear.
I think that's a tough one.
J.C. Jackson or Trayvon Diggs?
His name, get his
Gotta
name
get his
out of
name
here.
off,
J.C.
yeah.
Jackson.
J.C. Jackson.
JC Jackson, but let's
Nah,
let's
come
By
chill out on the
a
Trayvon
mile.
Diggs disrespect.
You saw him in preseason. You saw him in training camp.
He's not a great coverage.
But
He's
to
a
be
bad
fair, they
coverage
both
corner.
do the same thing.
He's a bad coverage.
J.C.
corner,
Jackson
but
just
let's
does it
not-
way better.
But don't act like he didn't have the record of interceptions last year.
He also had the record of yards allowed.
Oh, yeah,
No,
the
he did.
most.
Yeah, he did.
Not of all time.
Yeah.
Not all. Or He was terrible.
He was not good in coverage, but I think it offset.
Not good is an understatement.
All right,
terrible.
last one. J.C. Jackson or Jair Alexander?
Jair.
Come on,
Jair.
Yeah.
So who wrote this?
So the first one, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
All right, first one, I'm gonna go Xavier. So Dylan, why do you think Xavier is better? I think it's very well a good debate.
Yeah, I think it's close. I would honestly take
and this is crazy because X-Man, he's not really known for his coverage, but I think X is just a. His ball skills. Yeah. His man coverage is better than J.C. Jackson's, and the turnovers and PBUs isn't that far off to make a big enough difference. J.C. has him a little bit there. I think X is just a little bit more impactful. It's very close.
I think it's close. I think in terms of impact, in terms of what you love to gargle on, and that's interceptions. Oh, what a stud, though.
You could say it. Yeah. I respect it. I gargle interceptions.
Yeah, then I think they're both in terms of impact. I would say J.C. Jackson is probably more impactful in that sense.
But Xavier Howard, that's what I'm saying. Xavier Howard, not only does he get those PBUs and interceptions and forced fumbles, he had 3 last year.
Yeah.
But he is just better in coverage also. So I think he's more well-rounded. JC might have more interceptions over the last couple of years, but X is right there, and I think his coverage takes him over the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
think it's very close.
Yeah,
It's extremely
so
close.
Now we're gonna do kind of another. Would you rather?
I'm sorry, just still asking because we're explaining.
Yeah. I would just ask one.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna go to the next one. This one, I'm gonna go AJ Terrell. Why you got who? Charlie, you had AJ.
I had J.C. Jackson.
You had
They had AJ.
They had AJ. So I got JC.
I know AJ Terrell had a phenomenal season last year, and he's clearly a great coverage corner. But I just have seen not as much from AJ Terrell so far than J.C. Jackson. He's only played in the NFL for 2 years, and while he was good last year, 3 interceptions, I believe. I just haven't seen enough from him. If he does it again, I'm gonna start this is someone to really watch this season because he could be a number 1 corner, one of the top corners in the game this year, as he was last year. But J.C. Jackson has been one of the top corners in the game for 2-3 seasons, and I just think right now, if I had to pick one corner who's just gonna lock up for me, I'm taking J.C. Jackson.
Yeah, there it is.
AJ Terrell.
Oh, for Terrell?
That kind of season isn't a fluke.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
I'm not saying it's a fluke. I just want to see him do it again.
You could say it's one season, but that kind of season doesn't just come once. That kind of season is what you see out of a consistent corner.
Yeah. You could
see Trayvon Diggs have an inconsistent year where he had the 13 interceptions, and this year be the worst corner in the league.
Yeah.
But I
know AJ Terrell had a phenomenal season, but J.C. Jackson did too. So it's not like I'm saying maybe AJ Terrell was better than J.C. last year. I think it's close. I think you could argue J.C. was better, the amount of interceptions he had, but I'm just taking J.C. Jackson right now because of experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now we have another game. This is with teams.
This is fun. Let's keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
Let's
just say the team. Underrated or over. I don't want any of you to look at the teams. Underrated or overrated heading into 2022. First team. Underrated or overrated Vikings.
Underrated.
Or do you want to do perfectly rated?
I think add properly rated. No, proper. But there's a thing. Well, I'm gonna say properly rated for the ones that are.
I hate that category because it's just boring.
Well,
all right. Well, it's sometimes it's often it's right.
Okay, well, I'm saying underrated.
I'm gonna say underrated as well.
Underrated. I agree.
The Los Angeles Saints. Excuse me. The New Orleans Saints. Underrated or overrated?
Overrated.
Overrated.
Really?
Properly rated, I'd say.
I would say
because they were underrated before, but now people are talking about them. So I'd say properly rated.
I hate the amount of hype they're getting.
I hate the amount of hype.
Underrated or overrated?
It's an old team with a non-proven head coach.
Underrated or overrated Philadelphia Eagles?
Overrated.
Overrated.
Really? Properly rated. I really like them going to this year. They're getting a lot of hype, but I think
and that's what I think the overrating comes from.
Yeah.
Overrated or underrated Baltimore Ravens? Contract year for Lamar.
I don't know what the rating is. I'm going to say underrated.
I'm going to say under as well.
Very close but underrated.
Okay, I think that's a good one. Overrated or underrated Denver Broncos?
Overrated.
Underrated by a mile.
Underrated, I would agree.
Okay.
Underrated
or overrated Las Vegas Raiders?
Damn, making this tough. Underrated.
This is interesting.
Putting both Broncos and them underrated.
They don't get a lot of
No,
hype.
I think the Broncos are
But I
overrated.
also
The whole
think
AFC
they're going to make the
West.
playoffs.
I think the Broncos are overrated.
I'm going to say
Did you say
properly
overrated?
rated.
Oh, you
Yes,
did say
overrated.
I'm gonna barely say properly rated.
Yeah.
I'm going to say overrated for now because I see a lot of people putting them ahead of the Broncos. And I know they have for the past few seasons, but this is a completely different Broncos team. So I say slightly overrated.
Overrated or underrated New York Jets?
Overrated.
Answer.
Straight up overrated.
Properly rated because there are a lot of people.
No, a lot of no. I think at the beginning they were saying. I think at the beginning people may have been overrating them because of the draft class, but I think now people are like 5 to 9 win team, which
properly
is
rated.
Properly rated.
Overrated or underrated Miami Dolphins?
Underrated.
Truly not biased, sinking in underrated.
Properly rated. A lot of people are focusing on them.
I can side with that. Overrated or underrated New York Giants?
I don't know what the rating is.
I don't think you can say they're underrated.
I think they're the most underrated team in the NFL, actually.
Yeah.
I think underrated, but I don't know what they're like. I think everyone is rating them.
Everyone thinks they're going to be one of the bottom 2 in the league.
I think if everyone is pinning them on 4
people
wins,
are saying
then
Falcons,
underrated.
Seahawks,
it's
Jaguars,
Giants, and Texans right now is really the bottom.
Then definitely underrated. All right.
I'd say slightly underrated. Yeah.
I'm gonna say underrated.
Underrated or overrated Kansas City Chiefs?
Properly rated.
Good.
They're the best team in the NFL.
Properly rated. Even with it,
they
everyone still backs the Chiefs.
Underrated or overrated Los Angeles Chargers?
Underrated.
This is fun.
I'm gonna tap
Overrated.
in.
Overrated.
Let's talk about that one.
Let's talk about that.
So what are you saying their rating is though? Because a lot of this is based on like fan.
I see Super
Top 5
Bowl.
team in the league.
I say
people are rating best record in the NFL.
Okay, then definitely overrated.
I say
because they're
some
not the
people
best team
saying
in the
Super
NFL.
Bowl. I think they
I
could.
could see
They
that.
could definitely, but I
They
think
have all the pieces, but they have the
But
wrong.
Herbert doesn't have that. That's why I take Burrow over Herbert, because Burrow has the experience in the playoffs, and unfortunately.
Well, I think Burrow didn't have it going into it. My problem is
right.
that I think it's like a bunch of stars, but it's not really necessarily a
That's what I'm
complete
saying. And if
team.
you watch our
And I
Chargers
think you.
video, you'll see. I love J.C. Jackson. I really love J.C. Jackson, but he was just thrusted into this defense with what needed to be a really strong coverage corner.
Yeah.
I love Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
He was thrust into this defense in a team that needed a run defender. It's just a lot of star power.
I like the low key additions also though.
Yeah.
Morgan Fox and
Joseph Day.
and
Joseph Day had his worst season.
Morgan Fox, Joseph Day. Joseph Day. I like those additions, but I think linebacker core. I really don't like that they gave up Kaiser White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
like
really
Kaiser
good
and
linebacker.
Nwosu as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's just also the offensive line. They improved on that a bit by getting Zion Johnson, but
Yeah, I like the Zion Johnson.
All right. So now we have headed towards the end of the video, or you might have
The
skipped.
podcast.
Yeah. You might have skipped to the end because we said at the start we were going to have some fun stuff.
All right, so it's been a lot of would you rathers here, so
Here we're going to end this with another would you rather. I'm going to do 2 of them. One of them's written on this paper. One of them I'm going off the dome.
oh no,
That's the scary one.
No.
Would you rather have Michael Vick dog sit for you or give Deshaun Watson a massage?
This is terrible.
please.
I'm gonna say Michael Vick dog sitting for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I am straight, so I would say Michael Vick dogs it for me.
I'm going to say
Actually-
Deshaun because I don't think he's going to be weird to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I, don't think I just don't want to massage him.
I don't care about, I mean...
What the?
Why did you?
Yo. Hey, let's not avoid Surge.
Surge.
Oh man, I love
You
my
have a dog.
dog. I love my dog.
my dogs too,
I love
but
my dog too.
Massage.
Bro, I
I don't think he'd do anything.
Yeah, I don't think he would, but it's just weird. Like,
No, I
he
would.
has-
I would
he has
hate
some
every
sort of
second of that.
hesitate. If he flips around.
Oh shit! No, no. All right.
This is the
Reset
last
for
one.
dudes.
This is the last one. Would you rather block Aaron Donald for a full game or go one-on-one defending on 15 straight lob passes against DeAndre Hopkins?
DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, we
I
get
could-
smoked either way, but
Yeah,
like,
I could
exactly.
complete DeAndre
He'd run
Hopkins.
past
He wouldn't
me.
get every catch on me. I bet you he wouldn't get.
He
every
would
catch
get every single catch on me, and I'm not.
He
ashamed
would
of
I
it.
bet
definitely.
Like, just
No
one-on-one
one.
going up for
Honestly,
it.
I know I would get killed more by Aaron Donald, but it would be a really fun experience.
No, it would not.
It would not
You-
be fun.
you
You
would
say
not-
that now, but
I mean, it would
like,
be like cool.
Your face would be on the ground. You
If
wouldn't
he's
even
going
be
his
able to
hardest,
see.
like, you might
15 Give
die.
me 15 passes against DeAndre Hopkins, like one-on-one, like deep. I'm telling you.
Bro,
he's
you
not
couldn't
catching
guard
all
me.
15. Yes, yes, I can.
That's not
I
true,
smoked
guys.
both of you today.
You were better as a receiver.
but
Bryce.
no one is getting just like
I'm
unless
telling you all
DeAndre
know
Hopkins
this
drops
is
Give me
fake news.
15 routes against him. Give me 15 plays against him. I'm telling you, he wouldn't catch everyone. Like just deep, like one-on-one.
Go right. He's gonna catch every one of them. It's not even.
Is
close.
he starting from the line of scrimmage, or is he lobbing it and you're already in the end zone?
Okay,
Because
you
he
know
would
what I mean.
destroy you off the line.
I can do a little bit of soft coverage.
he would still destroy you on his route.
I don't know what's wrong.
I'm telling you, bro. Once we get famous and we go on a tour, I'm telling you.
I'm putting $10 million on 15 out of 15 for DeAndre Hopkins.
I am wise with my money, so I'm putting $20 million.
I'm telling you, Surge knows who wouldn't catch all 15.
No, he would definitely catch all 15. That's nothing. There's nothing.
I think I'm
nothing to be ashamed
of.
Factor.
How tall is he? What?
There's nothing to be ashamed of, but like definitely. You're not taller than me. I bet you freaking what? Jeff Smith would probably catch 15 out of 15 on all of us.
Taller than him.
Okay, but he still could jump like crazy.
Nah, I'm telling you, give me that.
All right, but regardless, let us know what you guys think because I'm putting 15 out of 15.
Well, that's an interesting. We have so many clips from this. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Make sure you guys give us 5 stars on whatever if you're watching or if you're listening to us on any podcast platform, and make sure you do subscribe to the channel because we did enjoy the recording very, very much. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Peace out.
Peace.
Bruh. I mean, you're lucky, but
hey, good timing, yeah.